Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for being here towards the end of a week, with the weekend beckoning all of you. I'd also like to welcome amidst us colleagues from other services who are undergoing training and who have desired to be here to see how the interaction takes place with you. With those opening words, I have two announcements to make. While the weekend begins for you, for the Foreign Ministry, it remains a work in progress. I have two of our senior officials are traveling over the weekend. The first is the External Affairs Minister, Sri Salman Khurshid, will be traveling to Bahrain tomorrow. This is his first visit as External Affairs Minister to Bahrain. He will, of course, hold talks with the leadership of Bahrain, and in addition, he will participate in the Manama Dialogue. The Manama Dialogue, of those of you who are following it, is an annual event which is conducted by the International Institute of Strategic Studies and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is home to more than 350,000 Indian nationals who are resident there. That makes them the largest expatriate community in Bahrain. We have a robust economic relationship with Bahrain. Our trade with Bahrain is in the vicinity of more than $1.3 billion. And this is all non-oil sector. Finally, Bahrain is part of the GCC, where India has as many as 7 million Indians resident. We source approximately 60% of our oil from that region, and our trade cumulatively with the GCC is something in excess of $170 billion. So it is a region where we have very important interests, and the External Affairs Minister's visit there is a reflection of that. While he is there, the External Affairs Minister has also convened a meeting of regional heads of missions of India in that region, and this is basically a brainstorming session where they will interact and see how the evolving situation in the region poses challenges and opportunities to India. Finally, the External Affairs Minister is also expected to lay the foundation stone for a new chancery building in Bahrain. That's what I have in terms of the External Affairs Minister's visit to Bahrain. The other announcement that I have is that over the weekend too, Foreign Secretary Mrs. Sujata Singh will be traveling to the United States. This is part of the Foreign Office consultations, which she will hold with her counterpart, Ms. Wendy Sherman, who is the Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs. This is to be held on the 10th of December. Foreign Secretary, this is her first visit as Foreign Secretary, so it's also a familiarization visit, and she is expected to meet a wide array of officials from other government departments of the United States. For example, she will be meeting Ms. Rose Guatemala, the Acting Undersecretary for Arms Control and International Security. She will be meeting the Special Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan, Mr. James Dobbins. She will also be meeting with senior officials from the Ministry of Department of Energy, Department of Defense, and Department of Commerce. As is usual, when the Foreign Secretary travels, she also interacts with think tanks who constitute an important element of our engagement in the United States, and she is expected to meet with members of the Foreign Relations Committee of the House of Representatives and some senior senators. I think I have exhausted my announcements, and I'm open for questions on anything that you would like to know. Yes, Mr. Mankantare.
Are the dates for the visits of the new President of Maldives and Mr. Vigneswaran finalized yet?
We are in consultation with the government of Maldives on the exact dates. As you know, we announced dates only very shortly before. As I said, we have two announcements to make of two people who are leaving over the weekend. Going by that track record, don't expect us to answer your question in the affirmative so much in advance. And the corollary to that is that it's not likely in the next week, any of the days that you are mentioning. Yes, Manish?
What's our stand on the air defense identification zone dispute which is going on between Japan and China?
Manish, I think this question has been asked before, and I have answered in a way saying that when I have the answer to that, if you would like the Ministry of External Affairs to pronounce on it. These are matters of, if there are matters of civil aviation, you would like to know what Indian airlines are following practices, I would suggest that you address that question to those who handle Indian airlines. As regards a generic answer, this has been provided by the External Affairs Minister yesterday, and that is available in the public domain. I have nothing further to add to that. Yes, Ranjana, and then.
During the FS's visit to Dhaka, the TISTA and the LBA were discussed, and what reassurance did
Foreign Secretary has had a fairly extensive media discussion with the media after her visit. She has explained in great detail what were the parameters of her interactions with various leaders in Bangladesh. These are available on our website, and I would urge you to have a look at that. Yes.
No, the Egyptian foreign minister's visit and spoken of India and Egypt working together in terms of a new international order, but there's also a subtext of their working together in the immediate evolving situation in West Asia. So what are the immediate, are there any immediate engagements that you see where India would be more a participant than it has been in particularly Syria and Egypt?
The Egyptian foreign minister did make that point that he would like India and Egypt to engage more actively on a host of issues. Some of the issues that he listed out was, for example, related to international disarmament issues. Other issues he mentioned was the Middle East peace process. We also feel that there is scope for us to coordinate and share views and opinions regarding the evolving situation in Syria. Also, Egypt itself is in a transitory mode. There is a roadmap that has been outlined by the leadership there, and he did brief us about the situation there and how he sees it evolving and impacting on the situation elsewhere. So basically, in the next few months, there are issues in the Middle East which we intend to exchange views on. And Syria certainly is one issue where we are following very closely. We have already indicated our interest in participating in Geneva 2. We look forward to the United Nations Secretary General consulting everybody and finally putting out a list of invitations. Once that happens, we will let you know about where we stand on that. Yes, Ranjit?
Will anybody represent India in the funeral of Nelson Mandela tomorrow?
Pardon?
Nelson Mandela's funeral is happening tomorrow. Will anybody represent India?
Ranjit, I think there is still some time between before the funeral is officially held and visiting dignitaries are being asked to attend that. My understanding from the situation as it stands today is that our High Commissioner is in touch with the South African authorities, who have indicated to him that it is possible that they will work out a schedule whereby they will inform us of when they expect foreign visitors, dignitaries to pay tribute to President Mandela coming there. And that is not tomorrow, as you said. There is still some time. I think they have to work that out. Once that is worked out and we are informed of it, please be rest assured that there will be a high-level delegation from India which will go there. As you are aware, both the Prime Minister and the President have indicated the reverence that we in India hold Nelson Mandela in. His death is, as was indicated this morning, not only a loss for South Africa, but a loss for India too, and for the world. So with this deep, deep reverence that we have for Mr. Mandela, you can be certain that there will be a very high-level delegation going from India. We will inform you once the dates are fixed and the arrangements are made about that. Yes, Vishal?
Is there any update on the situation over the detention of the Indian captain in Togo, and has India obtained consular access? Can the visit of his family there be facilitated?
Vishal, I think let me try and place this in context. Our mission in Accra is overseeing activities in Togo, and our High Commissioner in Accra is concurrently accredited to Togo. We also have an honorary council located in Lomé. And since we came to know of this detention on, I think it was on August 2nd that our mission came to know about this. Since then, our honorary council has met the 3 Indian sailors who've been detained. He's also met the Minister of Justice of Togo, the Attorney General of Togo, the Ministry of Security of Togo, and the Commander of the National Gendarme of Togo. He has had access previously to the 3 Indian sailors, including Captain Sunil James, and has pursued with his lawyer. There is a lawyer appointed by the company to which owns this ship and manages this ship where the sailors were working. In unison with him, they have met the 3 detained sailors and have had consular access. This is, of course, a matter of the past. Now, after that unfortunate incident, there's been a rather sad twist to this entire story, that the child of Captain Sunil James passed away, unfortunately, and this is a heart-rending story. Once this information was available to our High Commission, immediately they have once again taken the matter up, and even as we speak, yesterday evening, a consular officer from our mission in Accra has traveled to Lomé. He is there in Lomé today. He hopes to meet the public prosecutor along with our honorary counsel, and also try and see if he could meet the judge, explain the current situation, and request that on compassionate grounds, if Captain Sunil James is allowed to be released. We are pursuing this matter very vigorously, with all seriousness. We understand the humanitarian dimensions of it, and please be rest assured that we will try our utmost to see if we can unite this family in their difficult times. Yes, Ashok.
But today is the last day of WTO negotiation in Bali. The US Department of State and the European Commission's Office, they are actively engaged in putting up their side of demand. How much interest the MEA is taking in this matter so that an amicable deal be struck, not endangering India's food security and the livelihood of farmers?
Thank you very much, Ashok. You've been following this matter for quite some time. Let me assure you that the Government of India works in unison on such matters. We don't work departmentally on this. We don't work ministerially in this. We work as one representative of Government of India. Now, we have obviously, given the technical intricacies of this matter, our Minister of Commerce is in the lead. He is being assisted by several officers, including by officers from the Ministry of External Affairs. Our view is well known. He is putting it very forcefully and forthrightly, and we have the entire nation, including you, who have been very supportive of this always. We are a country of 1 billion. Please be rest assured that we will ensure that our rights are not undermined in any way. Yes, sir.
It's not too early. Could you please tell us something about the visit of Afghan president?
Well, I did indicate to you previously during my last briefing that he is likely to be here between the 13th and 15th of this month. He comes here at the invitation of an educational institution outside New Delhi. That educational institution will be making announcements about the activities related to that part. But President Karzais is an honored guest in India. He is a great friend of India. Every time he comes to India, he will meet our top leadership. Arrangements are being made for his interaction with our top leadership. I understand that in addition, there are other arrangements also, including lectures in Delhi, which announcements have been made. We are fleshing out his program, and hopefully you will have this detailed program very much in advance of that visit. Perhaps by Monday, you would have a detailed program of all his activities in Delhi, as well as outside Delhi, and the media opportunities that you will have for outside Delhi too. Rajiv?
Akbar, it has been nearly 4 months since INS Sindhu Rakshak was lost. Within hours, Russia had made an offer of cooperation in investigation and in joint probe or and whatever help Russia could extend to India. The Russian offer has been repeated several times since then. India has neither accepted nor rejected the offer. The question is, when the Prime Minister met President Putin at the summit, 14th annual summit, and when our External Affairs Minister and Defense Minister also paid visits to Moscow, whether this issue came up and what is India's stand on Russian offer on INS Sindhu Rakshak?
Rajiv, I think you've only laid out one side of the story. You did lay out that this offer was made, and this between India and Russia have a very expansive relationship in terms of our defense cooperation, and we understand each other very well. This offer was made and it has been raised previously, and a response has been indicated that currently we are in the process of undertaking our own investigations. Once these are finalized, we will take a call on how best to go about it further, and that's when, if there are requirements, we will take this up with our friends outside. So this is a situation that we've responded to previously. Unless you know otherwise, I'm not privy to knowing whether the outcome of that inquiry is complete. If that is all, then I think I wish you all one more question. No, only one. Somebody else can ask on your behalf. unless you have on something else. No, I will not depart from. Yeah, there are other issues, of course. Yeah. This is a weekend bonus.
Okay, thank you. It's the Pakistani statements on Kashmir and Siachen. How is the MEA viewing these, the change in tonality and focus and emphasis, and the warlike statement which has been made, and also the demand that Indian soldiers vacate Siachen on that because they are polluting the virgin waters which flow into Pakistan from the glacier. So how is the MEA viewing it? Is this an attempt to sort of internationalize the issue once again and project that talks are, India-Pakistan talks on Kashmir are headed nowhere?
Vishal, you've asked two questions. And you know I answer only one. But that said, I'll answer both of them for a change. As regards the first, I just told Ashok that we don't deal with it in silos. We deal with it across boundaries of divisions, departments, etc. And therefore, the Prime Minister of India is on record of responding to the statement that you referred to. That leaves, of course, your second part of your question, that is regarding Siachen. As you are aware, both India and Pakistan had a dialogue process. Siachen is part of that dialogue process. Now, the dialogue was interrupted because there were certain incidents which were not conducive to continuing a dialogue that was underway. What was then decided by the two prime ministers was that as a first step to normalization of relationship, there needs to be a meeting of the DGMOs to work out among themselves that they are able to ensure peace and tranquility on the border, following which others will step in. At this stage, the question of others stepping in and pursuing issues has not come about because the first step in that has not been taken. Once the first step in that is taken, and that is, again, may I repeat, what was agreed to between the two prime ministers, i.e. a meeting of the DGMOs, it would, based on the outcome of that, other steps would be opened up. So at this stage, space for other issues is constrained by a lack of movement on what the prime ministers agreed. I hope I've clarified. I've just answered whatever I had on this. Thank you very much. With that, we come to the end of this event. Thank you.